Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, Tasmanian tourism operators are calling for certainty from the Premier as he steps away from the national plan to reopen borders. The sector wants to see a roadmap outlining a target for the reopening and what restrictions will be in place once they do.
It's been almost 2 years since this bus was filled with tourists.
That's the thing we're struggling with really at the moment, is those large groups travelling together. You might get 4 or 5, but you can't get the 30 to 40 people that you need for a big tour.
And it's unclear how long that will continue. The Premier yesterday announcing he wants at least 90% of Tasmanians vaccinated before he will consider opening our borders.
We've gone through a lot of pain the last 18 months. The industry's strong and I think they'll come out of it hard. We just need a good solid plan so we can make our way out of that.
Currently unsure whether they will reopen in time for summer.
Oh, well, I did nearly cry last night. Just some certainty would be what we're looking for. Moving the goalposts is making it very difficult to sort of plan at all for the future.
For Jenny Grundy, it's her staff which concern her most.
We've got a team of 13 that are committed with us this summer, but we just don't know what work we'll have for them.
Considering the year or the 18 months that we have had, to not be able to be open to our major markets, which are Victoria and New South Wales, is a concern.
Hoping a plan will be released once the government receives modelling for the impact COVID will have on the state once 90% are vaccinated.
That is being done at the moment, and be able to articulate more clearly for the people of Tasmania in the coming weeks what that pathway is going to look like.
Backed in by the Commonwealth despite straying from the national plan.
Because we are doing so well with the number of vaccines being rolled out, the time difference between 80% and 90% is relatively small.
But the opposition is calling for more transparency.
For National Cabinet, Premier Peter Gutwein, Prime Minister Scott Morrison to release modelling on the impact of COVID spreading to other jurisdictions in the country on our hospital systems.
So that our members can have increased confidence in their ability to respond if COVID-19 does re-enter the state.
Many now just left waiting for answers.
I think as an industry as a whole, we really need to know a date and what that looks like when it opens.
Next Side's 7 Tasmania News.
Police believe a shooting at a home in Claremont last night was a targeted attack. Officers were called to the Ebden Street property just before midnight, following reports of 2 shots being fired through a front window. One person was inside at the time but wasn't injured. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward. The civil construction industry is welcoming the state government's TasTAFE plan, which aims to provide flexibility for both students and employers. TasTAFE is in the process of transitioning into a not-for-profit government business, with legislation expected to be in place by the end of the year.
I think that the changes are vital for us to remain relevant and to be able to keep up with the increasing workflow that's ahead, particularly with it being probably 25% down on resources at the moment.
We know that for many Tasmanians, they will be working one job while indeed training as well. So ensuring that training is available at the times that suits them, in a form that suits them, will help make pathways for more people to access training.
Consultation on the draft legislation closes October 18. A handful of new state-of-the-art homes is creating extra comfort and independence to Tasmanians living with a disability. The $2 million Launceston development comes fit with accessible facilities, including electric sliding doors. Support Service Multicap says the new homes will offer greater support to the 8 residents.
That's going to really meet their requirements. So the ability to get in and get as involved as they wish to be, the ability, we've got fully accessible kitchens, fully accessible laundries.
Multicap now has 28 purpose-built properties across the state. 2 Tasmanian paramedics are hoping to change the way medicine is administered to patients, potentially reducing fatal errors. The pair has invented the DropLock Syringe, which could become the gold standard in delivering medication in just a few years' time.
A patient fighting for life and medical staff under pressure to revive them by administering life-saving medication. A scenario faced by health professionals on a daily basis, but sometimes human error can prove costly.
I saw a near miss that occurred, and it could have been potentially fatal for the patient. And there was definitely a way to make medication administration safer for the practitioner and also safer for the patient.
You may reflect on when the doctor gave the COVID dose twice and the outroar of Australian public. Well, I can absolutely assure you that that happens every day across Australia.
Inspiring Tasmanian paramedics George Poulis and Claire Brown to create the DropLock Syringe, which reduces labelling errors.
Most commonly we stick a sticker which labels the drug, such as morphine. The risk of that is, of course, you may choose the wrong sticker, or you may put the sticker on the wrong syringe, which is the most common medication error.
With the drop and lock device, medicine is drawn into the syringe from an ampule, which is then inserted into the back of the syringe. No labelling required. The drop and lock syringe could be available in hospitals across Australia and the world in the next 2 to 3 years, with patents already approved in a number of countries, saving time in emergencies and potentially saving lives. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
There's a passionate push to prevent a key piece of Tasmanian maritime history from heading to the scrap heap. The Aurora Australis 2 played second fiddle to the unmistakable Antarctic icebreaker for 30 years. Now it's searching for a home.
She bears the same name and striking resemblance as her renowned mothership, but with one big difference.
It's in very good condition now. It's well painted up. It's probably got 10 years looking like this.
For 3 decades, the baby orange Ruffy served as the pint-sized sidekick to the famous Aurora Australis. But with the old icebreaker trading the Antarctic chill for the heat of Dubai, this orphan now needs a permanent home.
We can't let this be lost to the state. It is too important.
Its days on the water are now over, but maritime enthusiasts want the 10-metre boat immortalised on the waterfront to acknowledge Hobart's long-standing connection to icy voyages.
Hobart's been a port for Antarctica since 1840s.
The proposed Antarctic and Science Precinct at Macquarie Point is the obvious place, but construction is still years away and developers can't make any promises.
It's not money, it's not interest, it's finding a piece of space.
35 square metres of space to be exact. If not, it could be sent to the scrapyard. Though supporters are optimistic, someone will see the baby orange Ruffy as a sure bet.
We need to do everything in our power to be seen to be an Antarctic gateway, and that includes preserving our heritage.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
An impressive Tasmanian-built catamaran is making the long journey to her new home in Spanish waters. The 111-metre-long Volcan de Tidia left Hobart late yesterday. It's the latest high-speed ferry to be built by Incat Tasmania and will be able to carry 1,200 people between major cities in the Canary Islands. A pipeline set to provide water to part of the South Arm Peninsula has been given the green light. With $5 million from the Commonwealth, the pipeline will convert recycled water for community and agricultural use.
Yeah, we've been through quite a rigorous planning and approval process, and we're fully approved now. We're ready to move into construction phase. The construction phase should take about 12 months before we have water flowing to the region.
We're going to see opportunities for a whole range of high-value crops, olives, wine, grapes, potatoes.
The project will allow the company to transform the Arm End Public Recreation Reserve into a tourism destination with a public golf course and walking tracks. A Tasmanian supermarket worker has gone above and beyond to help a family in need. Josh Moore, with the support of his Coles colleagues, has embarked on a heartwarming mission to give a little boy a vision for the future.
Like they do every Sunday, Max and Charlie went to Coles to do their weekly shop. Then came along store worker Josh Moore.
I had noticed that Max needed serving on the checkout, so I've opened up a checkout for him. We got talking to him throughout while I was serving him, and he basically just told me his story, what they're going through, having to try and raise money with little Charlie.
Charlie was born with a rare condition which means his eyelids don't function normally and his vision is impaired. Josh, who has 3 children of his own, felt compelled to do something.
I couldn't sleep for a week, and then I said to my wife, we have to do something, we've got to help we've got to help this family. I told all of our team members, look, I need you to keep an eye out for him. And then I bumped into him and I said, hey, remember me? And he sort of said, yeah, I do remember you. I said, look, my heart was pulled with your story, and I just want to start raising funds for you.
The ultimate act of kindness from a stranger, leaving Max speechless.
It was so emotional. I actually shed a tear.
The Evandale family is hoping to fly Charlie to Europe for specialist surgery next year.
They have developed a great technique, and they'll be able to give Charlie functioning eyes and hopefully a vision for the future.
More than $40,000 has already been raised, but Josh isn't stopping there, hoping to collect thousands more when he hosts a trivia day in Campbelltown next month. The campaign hasn't just touched the hearts of Tasmanians, instead spreading far and wide.
When we told one of our team leaders on the mainland, he put down the first $1,000 and said, let's go for it. And then it just viraled through Victoria, and then we emailed a few of my colleagues over in Western Australia, and then they jumped on board.
The family has been blown away by the support it's received, with the money raised to also cover flight and accommodation costs while overseas.
It's so overwhelming and awesome. Words really can't explain it. I was lost and puzzled to figure out how we were going to get the best treatment for our son, and just this chance meeting with Josh has just made everything possible.
Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, an iconic Tasmanian puppet theatre company is celebrating 40 years with an exhibition at TMAG. From the big friendly giant to King Ubu, the puppets on display show the rich history of Terrapin.
It's a really great survey of all of the different puppets and all of the company's previous artistic directors, and just shows, I suppose, the longevity of the company and over that time how it's sustained.
We're just so thrilled that we can be part of the company's 40th birthday celebrations. It's a great milestone for not only the company, but I think the arts in Tasmania.
The exhibition will be part of TMAG's school holiday program, with performances being held over the coming weeks.
Big changes could be coming to the TSL, with preliminary findings of a statewide footy probe finding a 7-team competition isn't sustainable into the future. It also stated the battle for players has put a wedge in the relationship between the TSL clubs and other leagues. The full AFL Tasmania Footy Futures report will be released later this year. Meanwhile, some of Tasmania's top talents are preparing for the start of the Premier League cricket season. State bosses say the standard of the competition has grown and is fast becoming a breeding ground for first-class players. COVID uncertainty on the mainland has triggered an influx of players, including Sydney Sixers spinner Ben Menenti, who has signed for Newtown.
Opportunity and the chance to go and try something new, go somewhere else. New South Wales was getting a bit stale.
Those that are playing in the Tigers, we've been training since June now, so it feels like a while since we played cricket last.
The first round begins this weekend.
Good evening. Some drizzle for the southeast today, a partly cloudy day for most. A cool 12 degrees in Hobart. Launceston reached 17. Burnie and Devonport both 18. The state's top was 19 at Smithton and Low Rocky Point. Low Head 17, Flinders Island 15. Friendly Beaches, Grove and King Island all 13. 12 degrees at St Helens. Cloud over the eastern half and the north coast today. Patchy high cloud elsewhere during the afternoon. Further out, a cloud band moved over Victoria. Cloud associated with thunderstorms set over parts of New South Wales and Queensland. Tomorrow, a low continues over Victoria, causing an east to southeasterly flow over Tasmania. A trough extends from Queensland to New South Wales and Victoria. On the water tomorrow, in east to southeasterly winds at 20 to 30 knots about the north, as well as around a metre in the north and east. And a strong wind warning from Sandy Cape to Flinders Island and from Southeast Cape to Low Rocky Point. A minor flood watch for the South Esk River and a flood watch for the north, northeast, east, southeast and Huon catchments. Rain on the way tomorrow, Hobart, Huonville and Campania all 16. Launceston showers and 21, Devonport 19, Georgetown showers and 18. Burnie tomorrow showers, wind easing 18, Strawn a top of 20 and 18 on the way for Wynyard. Rain forecast for St Helens and Swansea 17, Port Arthur much the same and 15. Taking a look at Saturday now, and showers easing about the west and northwest. Sunday showers more likely about the east and southeast, and on to Monday showers again for the west and north, extending statewide in the afternoon. Capital cities tomorrow in Perth looking at showers and a top of 20, 33 in Darwin, Adelaide 18, Melbourne a few showers and 20, Canberra 19, Sydney 24, Brisbane showers and 26. And it's 11 degrees right now in Hobart, 13 in Launceston and 13 in Devonport. Kim, not much to get excited about tomorrow with rain and showers on the way.
Okay, thanks very much, Laura. And that is all your news for now. We'll have news breaks throughout the evening, but for now, on behalf of the entire team, good night.